In this video, I want to look at some of the biggest flops and failed sets in LEGO Star Wars, talking about why these sets or ideas failed compared to other sets in the theme. The first few sets I want to talk about all fall under the Action Battle line. We saw 3 different sets for this new line of LEGO Star Wars sets, namely the Action Battle Hearth Generator Attack, Echo Base Defense, and Indoor Assault. This was a brand new concept for LEGO Star Wars in 2019 and had potential to be a brand new sub-theme of LEGO Star Wars for the next few years, focusing on a younger audience but slightly more mature than the juniors or 4+ sets. Undeniably, these sets were interesting at first, but there was little to no actual demand for these sets. The concept was fun, but only to use once or twice and then put away. All 3 these sets have little to no display ability as well. The minifigures in all 3 sets are fairly decent though, and some snowtroopers and scout troopers are always welcome in newer LEGO sets as they are really good modern minifigures. As a whole, this concept unfortunately failed, and despite being 6 years old, these sets are worth way less than their original retail price. A more standard playset that released in recent years is the Justifier, a brand new large-scale ship depicted in LEGO. This set was based on the Bad Batch, and it was the second set from the show after the beloved Bad Batch attack shuttle. This set was instantly overlooked and rather disregarded. It was a really weird set to make for the show, when there were so many better and more recognizable ships that LEGO could have opted to make. Additionally, this set was extremely overpriced at $170 US. To put that into perspective, that is the same price as the 2019 Millennium Falcon, which was still on shelves when the Justifier released, and $10 more expensive than the Ghost and Phantom. But in terms of the contents of the set, it feels like way less value for the money spent. The minifigures were quite lacking, with the only unique minifigure being Cad Bane. This is a character many people have been wanting to see in LEGO again, but this set feels like a quick cash grab to exploit fans who want this minifigure. However, this one failed drastically, and this set did not sell well at all. On the aftermarket today, this one is worth only around $110. That is $60 less than the actual retail price, which is insane. Once again, back in 2019, LEGO released the Droid Commander, and this was a fun Star Wars version of the new Boost theme, which is a newer replacement for Mindstorms. Boost wasn't nearly as popular as Mindstorms though, and generally overlooked as well. The idea of this set with some Star Wars droids was pretty cool, but it did not have the desired results. The set included R2-D2, a mouse droid, and a large blue gonk droid, and a lot of extra pieces for some attachment to these droids. These were intended to teach younger people the basics of programming and robotics in a fun way with their integrated app. But this wasn't something people really wanted, and it didn't have the same effect that Mindstorms had way back when it was first released. Honestly, something like the promotional Mini Boost Commander was way more exciting as a mini gift with purchase than the main set. Despite its retail price of $200, this one is seemingly worth only $170 on the aftermarket after its retirement. In 2021, LEGO finally came around and made the UCS Republic gunship. Now, of course, this set wasn't a flopped LEGO set at all. In fact, it was an incredibly well-received UCS set with a spectacular build. But it is still worth a little bit under the $400 retail price today. Why I wanted to talk about this set though is because of the minifigure selection. For this set, LEGO decided they don't want to include exclusive, sought-after minifigures in UCS sets anymore, as it could take away from the set by putting more focus on the minifigures. Thus, They included a simple Mace Windu, which was new but not exciting, and a clone commander. That was later used in several other sets. The idea wasn't too well received though, as people love these exclusive, high-quality minifigures for sets like this, and they wanted to see something like a new Jedi Bob and a clone pilot. The clone pilot being replaced by the clone commander is another failed concept, as designers stated that all people want to see is a yellow clone trooper in the cockpit, and whether that is a clone commander dubbing as the pilot wouldn't matter too much. But that did in fact matter. Despite being a very good set, the minifigure choices and statements about this set was incredibly flawed and failed. Real quick, if you enjoy any of my videos, consider subscribing, as it supports this channel so much. In 2023, LEGO released another standard playset that was quite disappointing and overlooked, and could be regarded as a failed LEGO set. That is the remake of Yoda's Jedi Starfighter. So the main issue with this set is that it was way too soon, with no standout, desirable new features, minifigures, or design. Back in 2017, LEGO released the first version of the ship, which in itself wasn't the most sought after Jedi Interceptor, but was quite exciting as it was never seen before in LEGO. This newer one, however, is $10 more expensive for a smaller, nearly identical design that, in my opinion, actually looks a little bit worse than the 2017 one. I think for $35 in 2023, this one wasn't worth it at all, purely because it was just so soon. If LEGO wanted to make a Jedi Interceptor set for the Clone Wars this year, there were several better choices, such as a remake of Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor, or more exciting being the blue or green interceptors from Revenge of the Sith, both seen over a decade ago. This set recently retired, and according to Brickset, it is only worth $24 on the aftermarket, significantly less than retail price. Another line of LEGO Star Wars sets that flopped quite badly was the buildable figures, released between 2015 and 2018. This was a decent idea, as this was something we have seen before in several different themes, but it never really took off for any of these themes, other than Bionicle, where it should have stayed. For LEGO Star Wars, people prefer playsets, UCS sets, and other display-worthy sets, not action figure type of sets, especially if they look quite cursed. Of course, this sub-theme wasn't all bad, and there are actually quite a few high-rated sets from this theme, and some that looked really cool, specifically the helmeted characters. However, some of these characters look simply horrific, sometimes still hiding at the back of store shelves at smaller toy stores, selling for incredibly low prices with no success. Standout characters for how bad they are can be Jyn Erso and Rey. These both are quite low rated LEGO Star Wars sets and worth well under their retail price today. Jyn Erso often sells at less than $10, despite the $25 retail price, and this is a set that is almost 10 years old, so that must be saying something. But now, let me know what you think are some of the biggest failures and flops in LEGO Star Wars, and then I will see you in the next one. God bless you, and cheers.